Did y'all review the code of ethics, the code of conduct? Stay tuned. God bless you, friends. Thank you for joining me this Monday morning on Morning Nuggets. This is yours truly, Pastor Nate, and it is my absolute pleasure when I can come and speak with you. Friend, I've been hearing a lot of talk about the show, and I've been hearing a lot of people say things and do things that would appear to me would violate some type of contract or some type of code of ethics. I want to know, did you guys sit down and go over and review the ethics statement? Did y'all go over the policy? Did you ignore it? Or did you not provide one? I find that hard to believe. Any professional company, any type of business relationship would have some type of contract or terms letting you know these are our expectations. Do you agree with this? This is how you should behave. And you would sign off on that. And if you violate that, the consequences could be a fine, a penalty, court, things of that nature. But from what I'm hearing, they either didn't have one or they just don't care about it. They just ignored it. That's basically a document. Companies provide that. Some companies have it in their policy, talks about the ethics, the rules, the do's and don't while you're working here. And if employees or others are in a ethical dilemma, or if they're in a dilemma where they need to make decision, they'll have that document that they can refer to in order for them to help make a decision, because we always want to act and behave ethically, right? And there is a scripture, of course, in Deuteronomy 8:6. God even established something with the Israelites. Some people call it a covenant. You might refer to it as a contract. I like to look at it as a covenant, but also if you modernize it, it's actually a code of ethics. God said you should do this, do that, and the third, if you violate, if you don't do this, this what will happen. However, if you obey, according to Deuteronomy 28, the blessings will overtake you. If you don't, then you will experience curses. Yes. And that's kind of what a contract is. That's kind of what a policy or a code of ethics policy, that's how that operates. Now, I did some research on ethical statements and policy in TV and broadcasting. And these are some of the things that I found. As you can see, I got a couple. I don't have everything here, but these are some of the things that I feel like was violated. Now, I could be wrong. Again, this is my opinion. Protection of vulnerable people, acts of humiliation. We've seen that, even clips of the show where a person stood over a person and maybe they were intimidating them, or maybe a couple people ganged up on someone. Oh, did you guys go over that? Maybe not. Or was that allowed? Come on, somebody. Then we have misrepresentation. Is defined as broadly as any communication act that deceives or represents a particular state of affairs unfaithfully or misleadingly. We do hear a lot about that, where different people have their different views and as to what happened and how they were treated, and this and that and the third. Well, if everybody has different concepts and different views on how things went, somebody's misrepresenting the show, right? Is that allowed? Then we have appropriation, commonly referred to as the use of a person's name, pictures, or likeness without a person's permission. I've seen certain clips of different people using various things. Is that allowable? I don't know. I mean, if it is, it is. But I would think that the show would have some kind of code of ethics or some kind of contract that would prohibit this. We also have negative type casting, gloating at the perceived weakness, inferiority, or failure of others. And look at this third in here. A non-disclosure agreement is a legally binding contract that establishes a confidential relationship. And that's all we've been hearing for the longest about non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, and how people saying this and that when they're not supposed to. What are the ramifications if you violate a non-disclosure agreement? Was that in the code of ethics? Was that in the policy? Was that in the contract? Or if it is, people are ignoring it, or maybe they're not afraid. I don't know. Then we got data privacy and data protection. Employees are entrusted with the responsibility to properly handle sensitive information. And of course, then we have retaliation. So these are some of the things that I pulled out to go over because some of the things that I'm hearing others say and do are totally against these terms. Woo, friend. Again, did everybody sit down and get an understanding of how they should behave in this endeavor and what happens when they violate? Or maybe you just want talent and you don't care. Friend, I find that hard to believe because even if you got the highest skill set or the best talent, you got to have ethics. I would say this here. Don't ever let your talents and your abilities take you places where your ethics integrity cannot keep you. Oh, they don't like that kind of teaching. So it's not all about talents. It's not all about skills, but you have to have that whole package. You got to have the talents and the ethics. And I see some good talent, but I don't see too much ethics going on there. And Mr. SB, and this is no shade to you or anything. I'm just making commentary. Who am I? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just giving commentary. This is speculation based on what I see. Maybe some of these things wouldn't happen if he wasn't involved. I think a lot of people are saying and doing these things just to get back at him because maybe some of the content creators that went to Orlando and Atlanta and the different places where they filmed, maybe they're not enemies of him and they're breaking these codes and violating to get back at him because when you beef, you don't care. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I just thought I would talk about this because Saturday night on somebody's live, I heard people talking about details of the show about payments or $30,000 and 10%, and I didn't know if that stuff should be discussed. Let me know what you think. Thank you for supporting this channel. If you like what you hear, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. In the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Till next time, my friend.